episode 102 of Tech Sales Insights. Stu, how you doing?
I'm great, thank you. Good to see you, Randy.
Great to see you as well. Thanks. I know you've been hyper busy, and definitely look forward to sharing with our audience here all the great nuggets that you have. So for those watching, we can see whatever you post, so you can ask questions, you can make comments, you can see us or hear us, but obviously we cannot see you or hear you besides what you post. So definitely encourage anyone to make any comments or ask any questions. Tons of experience that Stu certainly has to share. He's currently the Chief Revenue Officer at Blattner Technologies. On the one hand, a very old company. The other hand, just completely new and exciting in terms of things that they have going on. The title topic today is two ways to build a business. There's the kind of traditional kind of grow from within, and then the much more aggressive one that Blattner and Stu are doing a fantastic job with, which is really acquisitions. We have as our sponsor today, Convertive. So our tagline, and I'll give a little bit better description, but for Convertive, for growth-focused companies, Convertive is a digital consultancy that helps sales and marketing teams hit goals by optimizing their technology and data stack. My more simplistic terms are you've got all these sales tech stack tools, and a lot of times it's hard to kind of rationalize what do you need, what can you get rid of, how can you kind of put things together, and then most importantly, how do you kind of get access to real data that can help you. So Convertive does a great job with all of that. We're also brought to you by Sales Community. For those that are members, thank you very much. For those that are not, you can go to salescommunity.com. Upper left-hand corner, you can click in Fall Free. And you get a free year membership and a lot of great content if you want to learn more and sell more there. And as always, we have Tucker Garfield behind the scenes. So Tucker, thanks for your help. And for those that know me, my technical competencies, without Tucker, certainly would not be able to pull this off. So thank you, Tucker. So getting on to Stu. So he lives in northern New Jersey, Woodcliff Lake. He's definitely a good family man. His daughter works on Wall Street management consulting and has a son at Maryland as a major in data science. And you'll see pretty soon why that's relevant to Blattner, what is going on. Also has done the New York City Triathlon, which is really impressive 3 times, including recently. Is definitely into mountain biking and also skiing. So we're hoping to hook up in Beaver Creek this winter. Don't really know Stu all that well. Full disclosure, we met in 2021 when we placed him through my recruiting business, Top Talent Recruiting, as a CRO at Superwise. But certainly we don't place anybody that we wouldn't otherwise hire ourselves. So great leadership experiences. You'll see big and small companies, very hands-on. Arizona State in 1990, and early on, I think it was 86 or 87, they won the Rose Bowl over Michigan. So any Blue fans, sorry about that, but it certainly has been, I think, a while since that's happened. And I'm impressed that he, like me, is also a ex-rugby player. So very cool stuff there, Stu. So let's jump into the questions so we can help our audience here gain some valuable insights. So maybe start with your professional background. I think your first job in 1990 was at Gray Interactive.
Actually, Randy, even a step prior to that, I started my career in advertising in New York City, which was what I was excited to do coming out of college, and was able to work on exciting things like, back in the day, print advertising and outdoor billboards. I was very lucky to be working on a technology client at the time, Sharp Electronics. They were rolling out their first ever line of laptop computers. And this internet thing had just been commercialized. And because I was working on the traditional marketing and sales and advertising of the Sharp laptop computers, someone said, look, Sharp would like to build a website. Would you be interested? In fact, it was a company out near you called Eagle River Interactive, right near where you are in Colorado. And I worked with them to build Sharp's first ever website, and thought to myself, this is interesting, this internet thing. There's a lot of people in New York advertising who are doing TV and radio and print and out of home, but let me see what else is out there. And I ended up going to Gray Interactive to actually work on the launch of Dell's first ever, what they called the, you could build your own laptops, build your own desktop computers and purchase them online, to work on the launch of that. And I worked on Sprint. So I got into the internet space pretty early on. And if you don't mind, Randy, I'll tell you an interesting recruiter story. You go back to the days when your phone would flash when there'd be a message. I left my desk at Gray Interactive to probably go to lunch or use the men's room. I came back, there was a flashing red light, and the message was from a recruiter at Microsoft who said that they were starting a new interactive division and they were looking for people who had interactive experience, this new internet stuff, as well as traditional sales and marketing. And 6 or 7 or 8 interviews later, I was an early member of Microsoft's Interactive Media Group and worked on the launch of MSN.com. So was involved in the earliest stage of bringing a new advanced technology into the market, which was very exciting. And obviously it was an unbelievable experience to work at Microsoft. There are no bushes to hide behind at a company like that. It's very entrepreneurial. At least when I was there, you could almost do anything if you could prove the business case, have the data and the team to build it. But you had to succeed, and you had to be able to show forward progress and success in everything that you did. So it was a really exciting time to be in that internet space.
Oh, awesome. And then maybe quickly just go through from there.
Yeah, so left Microsoft after my division was sold to Ticketmaster. It's now known as Ticketmaster City Search. While I was at Microsoft, I got married and was about to have my first child. So while I worked for Microsoft in New York, moving to Seattle, while very enticing from a lifestyle perspective and all the outdoor activity and career opportunity there, I decided to make the move into my first startup and got involved in a advanced search startup, my first Israeli-based technology business in like 1999-ish. And it was really exciting. We went out, it was my first opportunity to go out and really raise capital, raise venture, about $12 million. And what was most important in the go-to-market side of sales and marketing around what we did with Zapper is we had such an advanced technology and capability that it could be leveraged in a variety of different ways. And what I learned from that is make sure you choose one path into the market, get your clients, your revenue, most importantly, and then you can expand from there. We went in every path and pretty much blew through a lot of money pretty quickly. The founder of that company out of Israel, though, Yossi Matias, who's just a brilliant man, has been the leader of Google Labs in Israel for the last 10 or 15 years. So a lot of that technology lives. When I'm using Google, I know the pieces that kind of came from the minds of the folks at Zapper, which was really, really exciting. And then I shifted to kind of the next new thing. I met a gentleman who had been the president of one of the earlier, not AOL, but one of those earlier services like that. And he was getting involved in the video communication space. So I ended up taking in on a role in one of the earliest ventures into video communications, far beyond what we're able to do today. He was at Prodigy. I think he was the chief operating officer of Prodigy. And he and I got connected and worked on a company that built the first ever network that was optimized for video communications traffic that was IP based versus ISDN. That company morphed into a few different things. I ended up being the director of marketing for the US for a company called Tandberg, which was a leader in that video communication space. And again, right business, right time. Tandberg was acquired for about $3 billion by Cisco. And I ended up as part of Cisco's US commercial collaboration, telepresence, and cloud business.
Wow, awesome. So maybe tell us more about Blattner and a great, amazing story for sure, and how you got there.
Yeah. So again, moving on from one thing to the other, two things happened to me while I was at Cisco that I think are really interesting. It's important to understand everything I've told you so far, I was a marketing guy. I was literally a marketing guy. I was in marketing. I was in advertising, director of marketing, vice president of marketing at Cisco. I was a marketing guy, right? And while I was at Cisco, I was asked to present to the sales kickoff meeting as what we were doing in marketing to build this whole new collaboration business, telepresence and video communications. And when I left the stage after that presentation, one of the sales leaders of that division, who has been a great mentor for me, a gentleman by the name of Larry Satterfield at Tandberg and Cisco, said to me, "Stu, you're one of our best sales guys, man. What are you doing in marketing?" Now, I don't think he was such a huge fan of marketing at the time and always thought it was a necessary evil. And he moved me into a role where I started to actually own revenue and move into sales. And I've never looked back, which has really been exciting. And from there, after moving out of the video communication space, I looked at two different areas. One was virtual reality, augmented reality. The other was artificial intelligence. And for the last 5 or 6 years, I've really been focused on AI. This is my fourth artificial intelligence and machine learning related business. So it's been a pretty exciting field to now be in. And Blattner Technologies is focused on being a leading provider of what would be considered predictive transformation services and solutions, which is utilizing artificial intelligence and machine learning to really get the most out of your data, to move your data from just understanding what's happened in the past, business intelligence and what would be considered hindsight, to the next stage of what we call insight, which is really some of that initial analytical work, but really focusing on what becomes the advanced analytic side of it, which is foresight, which is wisdom, which is understanding your data through artificial intelligence to solve business problems across a tremendous number of use cases and industries.
Wow, very cool. And Blattner has a crazy history, right? It's going back like 115 years.
Yeah. So the CEO of our company, Russ Blattner, part of the Blattner family. The Blattner family has a very, very rich history, starting with, I think it was Blattner Construction. Literally in the late 1800s, they were building for some of the first railroads. From the stories I've heard, literally with mule carts, rolling up to clear the path for the railroads. They got involved in construction of some of the first interstate highways. I believe Blattner Construction was involved in building the Great Alaskan Highway. So they were really early on in helping to build America, even from an early technology perspective, which was railroads and transportation. Moved into energy as a family business. Blattner Energy was one of the largest providers of alternative energy in the windmill space, which was recently acquired by another company. And Blattner Technologies as a focus is living off of that rich history of building America, moving it forward, first with transportation, then with advanced alternative energies, and now really focused on what we believe is the future of technology, which is AI and ML, and really the value of leveraging data. And that's the most important thing. The AI and the ML technologies is really only of great value to get the greatest impact for your bottom line of your business through the data that you have or can access.
Yeah, I love that hindsight. I mean, you go back, 15 years ago, right? You get the data that you're getting is all that I used to call the rear view mirror. And what, the ideal thing is, okay, looking out forward. So I think your insight aspect, but then foresight, foresight really is looking out through the front windshield, kind of what's going to happen, what's advice and feedback and metrics and everything else that companies can get.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the shift and the move from what would be considered digital transformation to predictive transformation. And I think this is important for your sales community. I have spent my entire career really being as much of an evangelist as I've been a salesperson. I'm usually selling into markets where there's no line item, no budget. There's no one who's in charge of that category. They're not ripping and replacing something else. When I was in video, I was just trying to explain to people exactly what we're doing now. But if you go back 15 years, people thought I was crazy, right? And how easy it would be and how good of quality it would be. And that's really where we are now, I think, in moving towards predictive analytics. It's an evangelist play as much as there's a huge market for it, which is growing extensively. I believe that Gartner says it's about a $62 billion market right now in 2022. It will double to over 120 million by 2025, and is expected to be a $1 trillion global market by 2030. And I can tell you, I think they're being conservative when I look at the global speed at which the market's growing.
Yeah, you almost look at it. You go back in time, 25 years. It's almost like kind of the next gen ERP that's just really totally going to transform what everybody does and how they do it. So in terms of when you sell, so is it a kind of SaaS-based offering or software and services?
This is such a great and important question. The answer is, as we bring a number of companies together, which I'll talk a little bit more about what Blattner's doing, the goal is obviously to provide a solution and a platform. Why is that important? Look, we know the value and valuations of AI and ML companies. We know that we all love recurring revenue and we want to move organizations towards that. What we've discovered, though, and the reason why Blattner has been focused on not just trying to build a company, but to pull together an integrated solution of multiple businesses that we've been acquiring, is because if you look at the predictive transformation model, and I think this is similar in so many of the categories that your audience is involved in, there's probably 10 steps. From the earliest part of, we just got to get our data organized through building your first models, training those models, doing model monitoring, observability, all the way through to that preemptive analytics and automation. In sales, what was happening, and I think we see this in other companies that I've been with, when you're selling just a point solution, you go in the market, and wherever you're talking about, your potential client always says, no, Stu, you're too early for me, or you're too late for me. We're not there yet, right? We're only in step 1 to 5, and you're in step 8 and 9, or we're already in step 10, and we don't really need step 7 or 8. So thank you very much. When I came on board with Blattner and Boss AI, which is the first company in our portfolio, we really reimagined that and said, no. We want to be able to meet our customers where they are, anywhere in steps 1 to 10. And that's what we've set about doing, and partnering with people and doing the acquisitions that we've done over the last just few months, and the more that we'll be announcing shortly, is that we can provide value to anybody in any step. Now, again, the reason I bring this up is because to move clients onto a platform, what we've learned, and I think we all know in this industry, is they actually need professional services along the way.
Right.
So if you just give them a platform, they're going to fail, and you're going to have as much churn as you spent time trying to acquire. So our goal is to help our clients be successful and meet them wherever they are. If they're steps 1, 2, and 3, we'll give them the professional support to help them move to steps 4, 5, and 6. If they're at 4, 5, and 6, we'll give them the platform so they can be more self-service. And if they're at the more advanced stages, we will work with them to help them further their capabilities because of the solution we pulled together. And it's really being well received in the market.